December 16th, the Monteith project, progress for the week. Today is Wednesday. So we'll pick up a little bit actually this weekend. Eagle Fence finished the 10-foot section of fence here along Mansfield Road. Look, the banners went right up. There's actually some larger banners coming in a week or so. Those will be replaced shortly. Well, we'll take you inside to give you a little peek at what goes into the 10-foot fence. So we've got diagonal braces to hold it up for the wind load. And you know, we had the option of pouring concrete on every single post or using the kickbacks. And it seemed like it was most cost effective to use the kickbacks in this particular case here because we had the room. The other fence is for the tree protection that you see through there. And you can actually, we'll go down and take a look. The contractor has actually started his demolition on the patio and the retaining wall. With our progress report, Wednesday, December 16th for Monteith. We're taking a look at a view from the north looking south at the 10-foot fence. And we're making kind of a big deal about this because in critical spots, highly aesthetical areas going forward on most of our projects, where this is the type of fence that we're going to be using. So a little compared to the 8-foot fence, where not as much high profile. This fence is a little bit much more profile because it's visible straight on to Route 195 and Mirror Lake. But a special thanks go to Park and Services this week, and for Ian for coming quickly right out and providing us some crosswalk barricades, and from the sign shop, the signs that go with it. So we have good access for pedestrians to use the crosswalk over here. They don't need to use that one any further, and there's another one way down a little bit further. So perfect. Continuing with our progress report, today is December 16th, and the conduits were completed earlier this week. You can see the link seals where they enter into the vault. We can pick up on the other side. They're backfilling, and they'll be getting ready for the slab later this week, maybe first thing next week. Good look at the grounding loop. We'll get a little closer for that. The copper grounding loop that's soldered to the particular rods, which is good. Sometimes they use mechanical fittings, and we don't like to see that. We like to see the 100% solder. And it's gone. You can see the grounding loop is going into the building. With our Monteith progress report, December 16th. Again, we were just talking previously about the kickbacks on the 10-foot fence, and the contractor has actually moved to the south portion of the project, started the demolition on the sidewalk. Being exam week, being very careful on any kind of a sound that we need to make. So the mason needs to come in to take the granite. The granite's being salvaged to be reused. He'll put that to the side. Then he'll come back up and demo the retaining walls, and the concrete contractor will come in and rebuild those, and then the mason will come in and finish them. But in the meantime, he's going to work his way down here, demoing all the sidewalks, and he can start his retention system over in this area over here. And then he'll probably get that laid out and start it towards the end of the week. Continue with the Monteith progress report, December 16th. You can see the second time we're visiting the whiteboard here. It's kind of a great place to put down our work path design. So we had a meeting this morning. We're coordinating the steam shutdown, which is going to be December 28th, 29th, and 30th. So just a quick look here. We had Ernie Dora over here with utilities. We have our Honan here. We have Monteith. This is the existing manhole right here. This is the main that runs all the way over to Holly Armory, with a pit over into there. So we have to shut this main down. Ernie's going to shut it down over at our Huna, but it does not shut the building off, which is a good thing. He's going to shut it down over here on the Holly Armory, which doesn't shut the building down, which is a good thing. Boostfield will come down because it's directly off of the main, but we have a plan there. Boostfield has a standalone boiler. We're going to contact the building management group and coordinate that so that they're on board switching over to the standalone boiler in Boostfield. So there was also a bypass that was particularly of interest on here. Comes across over here. Part of our design documents are to connect to this bypass, You know, there is an issue with the bypass that several years ago it did fail in this area between this vault and this other vault. But we're going to continue with the contract documents and connect to it so that if at some other time they make the repairs up in this area here, you know, the assembly will be completed on the inside. So they have started the permanent pipe installations this week. We'll take some shots of that in a little while. So, you know, we're expecting to be fully tested and by the first of the year to be on with our temporary heat system. So again, boost field's fed two particular ways. It's fed this way, and then the new service that came in with the addition comes up through here, through into the pit, into the new addition. Wednesday, December 16th, we'll continue with our Monteith progress report. You know, they began laying the steam pipe in the trench on Monday. You know, we had great work over the weekend. Once we got through the geotechnical issues over in the first 30 feet over there, that work was done on Saturday. These guys got right back in on Monday and began to lay the pipe. So we know that the trench, you know, they didn't want to dig too close to the structure over here when the pipe was laid in there. It's presently kind of close to the bank. We're completely aware that there's got to be a tolerance for, you know, a sand bed, and they're going to have to clean that up by hand. So some of the joints they've started to weld, and we've got the, you know, we have the X-ray group on target. There's a total of 16 joints in here, and they're coming back for later the week. So we're expecting some rain tonight. So you can see the joints that are protected stayed protected. You know, the joints that you know, that they were working on have been back temporarily protected. This whole trench is full with sand, and it's full with stone actually, and then filter fabric over the top. And there's a pump set down in the corner. So if we get any rain at all into the trench, there won't be any flooding. It will be picked up by a standpipe and a pump down at the other end. A little closer shot with the steam entering into the building. I believe they have the link seals already on the other side. We'll take a shot down in there now. But that's their process. They're installing them on sandbanks. There's the standpipe with a pump in there in case we get any particular flooding. You know, they have a joint that they're beginning to work on right there, temporarily covered for the evening, which is great. You know, again, we were talking a little bit about some handwork that has to happen up there. That's going to happen up there. Permapipe rep Digger was on site this morning just to keep an eye on all of the piping. They will repair a couple of the jackets that were in BVH's report, you know, at the time they begin to seal up all of their joints. So we had a meeting on an earlier note talking about the shutdown that's scheduled for December 28th, 29th, and 30th. Progress for the week. Today's Friday, December 18th. We're in the lecture hall on the Monteith project. You can see that almost all the mechanicals have been removed. There's still some up in the little bit of a recessed area up on the floor. The ceiling is pretty much been cleaned out. There's some chairs back in there. The contractor is staging his area. And they're using them actually, to be honest with you, for a little bit of a lunchroom. But all the seats have been taken out. Peek in here on the southern final shear wall. We have the testing lab here with this new tester that you can see in yellow. They're doing compaction 1-foot lifts, and this is the last shear wall to be compacted and will be completed today. As we mentioned earlier, these three on the north wing here, shear walls have been compacted, and I understand the mason's going to start next week. He'll put his first course of block and build it up, and then they'll cast the concrete in after he gets his coursing in. December 18th, we'll continue our progress with Monteith. The pipes that were placed in Monday, you know, we've got more than 50% of the welds being completed. These two joints are completed. They've got some temporary covers over the top. That's what that aluminum is, which is great. We've had some rain, but no buildup in the trench. You know, we talked about they're going to have to clean the side of that bank up later on to get the right clearance for the sand. They know that. That's just the way the excavation worked out for them. So these are the joints that are remaining here that will be completed Monday, Tuesday, potentially Wednesday. So right now the X-ray company is set up to be able to take the space. They need a 50-foot perimeter to be able to do their work either next Wednesday or next Thursday. Mechanical equipment demolition happened this week. Oscar's just up there sweeping, cleaning up. This floor we did have great progress on the office side. Most of the, if not all the hollow metal frames are set down here. You can see they're set down in here. The electrician's been up here this week working hard on his rough-in. Of course, the mechanical guys got their hangers on for their heat. You know, they are working on their heating loop on the side. You know, red fire alarm boxes that you see there. And they actually did get a chance this week to come over here and start, you know, some of the on the west side, some of the partitions on the side over here. Here we had a chance to get the demo going on, got it started removing the slab on grade down here in the mechanical room, so we can get the plumbing in over here. So you see where they made the saw cuts. They still got some more to remove over there. They got that one section in. So this will be done early next week. They'll do the plumbing in here to make room for the PRV on the steam that'll come up later on. Last area this week for the abatement on the west side of the lecture hall and the little mechanical room over here. The floor tile's getting ready to come out early next week, and that should take care of all of our abatement on the project.